tomorrow, President Bola Tinubu has only tomorrow before for him to transmit the cabinet, his cabinet nominations to the National Assembly. That is what the tweaking and the amendment to the Constitution now says, that the governors and the president will now have 60 days before, from the moment they assume office, to transmit the name to the National Assembly. We have a few other issues to touch on. My guest tonight is someone who is very familiar. For 8 years, he was within the precinct of the Aso Villa, but now he's stepped out. He does look like he's looking different. Laulu Akande, the former spokesperson to former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. You're looking so different, Laulu. Yeah. Is he your new rebranding from being out of government?
You can say that now that I'm back as a journalist, you know.
You've come back to the other side.
I've come to the real side now, where I used to be.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Give us an understanding of the kind of pressure. This is the very first 59 days on the life of a new government. What do you think might be going on within the villa? Without you even being there physically, you can imagine what is going on there.
You can imagine that, you know, so we must understand that since 1999, President Bola Tinubu is the first real politician that has become president. Well, you know, maybe also President Jonathan, you know, but for somebody who actually has to start his whole, right from the beginning, not as a vice president. You've had General Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, a former military head of state. You know, you've had you know, President Buhari also. Yeah. You know, so you also had Yaradua and Jonathan. You know, essentially also politicians, but
coming from state politics.
Yeah,
into the national politics.
not the caliber. The point is that this is the first time you're having a consummate politician.
An end-to-end politician.
Yeah, an end-to-end politician, a consummate politician, somebody who has also been in the game for as long as 1992. So he carries quite a lot of people along with him. And I'm not surprised that it's got a little bit of challenge trying to nip this in the bud. But if you look at his pedigree, you know, one of the things that you can't take away from him is his ability to be able to compose a very good team. You know, if you look at what he did in Lagos. So I see that there has been, or there is being, a very intense pressure from political forces, from political interests, you know, all across the country, and he's also trying to balance it with putting people that he believes has the real capacity. So you know, it's been interesting, but not quite so surprising that it's taking him this long.
Because other presidents that had, we had a president, the former President Buhari had almost 6 or 7 months before he could transmit names of ministers. But that is not permitted again under our laws. 60 days. Yeah. That is constrained. And there are people who say, what does it take to get a team together? Now, we understand from what we are hearing that there's a lot of removal, addition, subtraction that has been happening over the last few weeks. Some people have gotten on the list. Some people's names have been removed. Some didn't pass through security checks. Is it that difficult, Laulu, to get this kind of thing done, politically speaking?
Well, I think it's a good thing that now you have a law that gives a limit. I think that is what is most important in these circumstances. Of course, we know what happened in 2015 when former President Buhari came and took that long. Now, people have felt that, look, I mean, there's public interest involved here. You can't have this much time. So that is very helpful, you know, that there's a constraint. But it also goes to the point that, look, it's not always an easy thing to do. Now, it also has a connotation for how decisive you can be, you know, to say that, look, this is what I'm going to do. Now, he has shown that, you know, in the issue of the subsidy, you know, that ability to say, look, let's just call this thing right now.
Even if this aid has said, don't say it now. Yeah. But the man said, he went off the book, and
that we are going to have to do this. So let me start off dealing with it. So that shows a little bit of somebody that is decisive, whichever way you look at it, up or down. But the issue of the selection of the cabinet is as decisive. You would also wish that it could be as assertive on that. But there are a lot of political interests, that are at play, and that's
because he didn't get into power all by himself.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of people who also paid some sacrifices, and who will also be waiting that, look, all of their sacrifices, it has to be. Don't forget that the governors of APC were very instrumental in him getting the ticket of the APC.
The governors of the APC, especially the northern governors, who were able to stand for the right thing when we were almost at the verge of tweaking the zoning balance. You remember what happened when the former chairman of the party went to announce a candidate. The governors of the APC, especially those in the north, were able to stand up and say, "Hey, no, it's time to go to the south," which is a very commendable thing that we must.
Hello and welcome to the channel. President Bola Tinubu, who clocks 60 days in office today, has a few hours left to submit his ministerial list to the National Assembly in line with the constitutional requirements. His predecessor, President Muhammadu Buhari, had on March 17, 2023, assented to a constitution amendment bill mandating the president and governors to submit the nominees for their cabinets within 60 days of taking oath of office. By that provision of the Constitution, Tinubu has to submit the list of his ministerial nominees before the end of today, otherwise he will be breaching the Constitution. Business Day gathered that the list includes former governors Atiku Bagudu and Nyesom Wike and several technocrats. Although previous administrations had worked with a total of 42 ministers representing the 36 states, with extra 6 representing each of the 6 geopolitical zones, there are indications that Tinubu may restructure some of the ministries to make them more efficient. The previous administration left a total of 27 ministries vacant. They include Ministries of Agriculture and Rural Development, Aviation, Justice, Labor and Employment, Petroleum Resources, Water Resources, Women Affairs and Social Development, Mines and Steel Development, Defense, Niger Delta Affairs, and the Federal Capital Territory Administration. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.